he is also an EXCO member of the Assembly of God, and he's married to Reverend Connie Chan, our brother Ngai Sing's sister. Yeah, and he's blessed with 3 children and 3 grandchildren. Wow, yes, experienced person, really experienced. Okay, and he has a doctorate in marriage and family from Eastern University, Philadelphia. So very, very qualified to come and teach you all. So let us all put our hands together, welcome him.
All right. Thank you very much, Pastor Mary. You know, it's so good to see all of you here, the young and the old. I'm very glad the old are here because, you know, if you read the statistics, you'll be surprised. People who are old are even divorcing. Okay? Because finally, they have lived their life for the children have gone on, and they just can't tolerate each other. And surprisingly, it's happening even in Malaysia, not in America. Okay, let's bow our head for a word of prayer while I go and get the pulpit. No, it's okay. It's okay, bro. All right, let's bow our head for a word of prayer. Thank you, Lord. Father, I want to thank you for Church of Praise. Thank you for the leadership of Pastor Mary and the other leaders here. And Lord, even for each one of the children who are here, even as they open up their heart to learn, Father, I just pray, oh God, you'll not only strengthen marriage, but you'll use their marriage, oh God, to bless many others. In Jesus' name I pray. All right. I've entitled these 2 sessions as Baby Mixed-Tree. I run the program, Baby Mixed-Tree. Now, how many of you remember when your first baby came? It was a bundle of blessing, but it was also a bundle of chaos. Some of you are laughing, you remember the stress. If you didn't have a close support system, you were totally lost. How many of you remember the tension in the family and some of the carnal nature that came out? I have a sister in our church, and I'm very thankful for her. She and her husband had a very difficult time when the first child was born. And, you know, they were a couple who would do things together. And she insisted that the husband wake up when the child wakes up for feeding. And then one day the Lord just dealt with her. You know. I created you as a woman with breasts. You can breastfeed the child. What is the husband sitting there waiting for what? And next morning he has to go and work. And because she had that revelation, she started talking to the ladies in our church, you know, let your husband sleep, let your husband sleep. And he has become so empowering for the men, you know. And so tonight, if we can achieve something, I just want to help you understand, because there are many families here in Ipoh that really needs this, because they are not in the church family. They don't hear some of these things, you know. They don't have the support system, and that's the reason why many of them divorce. Okay, let's have the slides up. Okay, that's my family. Okay, that's my family. We have Delicia, the eldest. Delicia, the eldest, married to Edward. Okay, Edward had a very unique experience. They were at the hospital, and he shaved himself bald. He likes to shave himself. And then the Penjara officers brought 2 other prisoners to the clinic. And then when the nurse called for Edward, the prisoner stood up also. And they said, okay, you know most of Malaysian prisoners also. It was such a hilarious time. So Edward, and then we have Joshua and his newlywed, Bernice, my first daughter-in-law. And then you have Joel. Okay, all the boys are accountant. And my wife and Bernice are also accountants. Okay, so only Delicia and myself, we decided enough of accountants. So Delicia is a trainer with Taylor's University. And my 3 grandchildren, our bundle of joy and excitement. Okay, sometimes they drive us crazy. Okay, but that's what family is all about. Nathan, you can see who's the mischievous one, Nathan and Daniel. Nathan had an almost fatal accident, okay, almost not fatal, what do you call that? Life-changing accident, almost blinded himself, okay. He was so playful, he was jumping all over the place. He almost cut his eye at the edge of the table while we were on holiday. So that's my family, okay. We still have drama, we still have exciting times, crazy times. Okay, that's my family. Okay, how many of you are married more than 10 years? Wow, that's very good. 20 years? Wow, very good. 30? Wow. 40? 40? Wow. You got married when you were 15? You got married when you were 15? Oh, that's very good, sister. Okay. Who is married the longest here? 40, 45? Wow. All right. Anyone? 50. How many years, brother? Wow. Okay, longer than some of us live. Praise the Lord. So you'll be wondering, what is uncle doing here, right? Yeah, because he still wants to learn. He still wants to learn. Because when you're married to a mystery, okay? Every day is different, okay? I was just telling someone, you know, I've been married to Pastor Connie for many years, okay? Many years, almost 27 years. Almost 27 years. She has never ever shouted at me, okay? Not because I'm a good guy. Her glare alone is enough. Then she said, no, I never glare at you. I was just confirming with her, you know. She said, no, I don't glare at you. I said, oh yeah, just pinch. Just pinch. You know, Gaising is the brother. Okay, you look at Gaising's size. Gaising still fears her, okay? You know, so we have a very good marriage, we have a happy marriage, but it's not without challenges. And so there was one of the reasons why I went to, not because of her, but because we saw marriages having crisis. So that's one of the reasons why I went to study. And people always ask me, why America? You know? Because that's the land of divorce. So I want to go and learn why people get divorced so that I can come back and help families not to experience divorce. Okay, so let's look at the first slide. What happens when a baby comes? Okay, so in your notes, I'm just going to run through. Okay, but if you want more detail, then we can do it some other time. But your whole life changes. Okay, really, your whole life changes, and whether for the better or for the worse, depends a lot on the couple. Okay, your own character, how you approach life. You know, we have seen mothers go through baby blues. I think there are doctors here. You know, you appreciate that syndrome. They go through baby blue, depressed. There'll be weeks they blame the husband because of you lah. You know, we have seen it all. We have seen it all, and it affects even very educated people. If I have a friend who has a PhD, the wife is a master's student, a master's degree, one of the first few, but every child, she'll have baby blues. And it got worse and worse, you know, because she was not able to handle that stress. Okay, so what happens when baby comes? Okay, I want you to understand so that you can appreciate a family that is in Ipoh that has not come to your church yet and doesn't have family support. You know, especially don't have family support. If they have family support, if it's good family support, it's helpful. But if it's not good family support, it's also detrimental. You know, and so for those of you who are in church, sometimes you don't really even appreciate what you have. You know? And I'm very thankful I'm a Christian. And I have a church that is supportive in every journey of life that we have gone through. Sometimes we don't appreciate this stuff. We take it for granted. Until you meet people outside, they're all alone. I was just with a man, the wife just passed away. And then he had a minor stroke, I think all the stress. And I've never seen a He-Man, he's quite muscular, just cry, as we talk as man to man, you know. And he was telling me he has no one to talk to. You know, suddenly I realized you have a lot of friends, but when your friend's wife passed away, sometimes you don't know what to talk to. So you start avoiding. And he found himself in a time of loneliness. And surprisingly, it's the church people that have come to help him. The son attends our church. Not attends our church, coming to the youth. And so he's learning. And one of the things he asked me just Thursday, right? I went to see him Thursday. Yeah, why are church people so kind, you know? He suddenly realized, you know, hey, Christians, you are so kind. He's a stranger, right? And so if you understand this concept, then you begin to appreciate that there's a family in Ipoh that needs you, and you can make a difference. Okay, so let's very quickly. You find that physically there will be a change. Okay, there will be a change. Pregnancy, before pregnancy, sometimes wife goes through insecurity. Am I getting fat? You know, am I getting? How many of you wives went through that? Let's be honest. You start having self-doubts, right? Some of you, right? It can't be helped because you do go big, right? You do go big. And some say big is beautiful, but for Asian size, we don't really feel, we are not convinced, okay? So sometimes we have these self-doubts. And sometimes husbands are not, you know, don't help much. Because when our wives are in doubt, you know, even as a pastor, I'm speaking from experience, when my wife cries, I'm paralyzed. It's like, oh God, what am I supposed to do? So the most is I hug her. Are you okay? Of course not okay. Okay, we'll cry for what? You know? How many men feel paralyzed? I mean, let's be honest, man. Yeah, we don't put our hand, we just say, yeah, okay. Okay, don't want to divulge who are the best. Right, we feel paralyzed, or at least I feel paralyzed. I've been married for 27 years and I still feel paralyzed. You know, my wife is someone that always smiles. When I come home, she's not smiling, I'll call the two boys. Hey, what did y'all do to mom? They said, nothing. Then I said, die, it's me. I mean, that kind of family. So I want to encourage you, you know, those of you who go through it, you begin to understand, right? There's someone in Ipoh that also goes through it. At least you can talk to some church sisters. And then after birthing, you know, some of them feel very bad, especially the first 2 days. Sometimes no milk, right? People tell you, oh, the milk flowing with milk and honey. You just don't have milk. You know, and the baby is screaming, right? Doctor knows also. I don't know what is the condition called, but it is real. It is real, you know. And so, like I said, we have Celine and a few other mothers. They actually are on standby to go and help the mothers. And we started it because of one brother. One night I got a call, Pastor, my baby is crying. My wife is crying, and I'm about to cry. Don't know what to do. There was no milk, and you're told you cannot have powdered milk, right? All this type of thing, and then no milk, what to do, you know? And so this sister Celine went, warm up the breast and did some rubs and things like that, okay? And throw it up, milk and honey float, you know? So sometimes even simple things like that. You know, because the worst thing is, especially for a non-believer, if they don't hear some of these things, the worst thing is that, why all the women got milk, you don't milk one? That's the wrong thing to say, okay? That's the wrong things to say. Some of you are young, you remember what Pastor say, if you ever get a wife, don't say that stupid thing, okay? But it's very tempting, right? All the women in the world that we heard has milk. How come you don't have one? And if your mother-in-law happened to be there to pull it, worse still. All the women have one, you don't have one. You know, it's not very, very edifying at that moment. Okay? So you begin to realize there is opportunities for ministry, even to a mother. Okay? It's the same with the guys. And then psychologically, you know, there are changes. Socially, it will affect the first few months. Okay? Nobody will invite you for a movie because your child is crying. And if you want to go for a movie, your mother-in-law will look at you, or even your own mother. Want to go for a show? Then who is going to take care of a baby? So socially, you get cut off. Socially, you get cut off. And those of you who are single, how many single here tonight? Okay, you are still single. You remember all the close friends that you have? The moment they have a child, suddenly you get cut off. They get married, then they cut. You stand there, hey, we are all the singles. Yeah, because you are different from them. They have responsibilities. They can't go and see shows like you. You realize that, right? And those of you who are married, I mean, you feel bad inviting a single also. And so there's, even socially, you get cut off. You get cut off. Or the single don't want to invite you. Hey, don't want to bring the baby poo. Yeah, don't want no need lah. And you get cut off socially. You know, I don't know whether it's good or bad, but you do get cut off. Okay, you do get cut off. And then let's move on very quickly, because this is not my main notes, but just to set a picture. Sexually, okay, I remember even one of my lecturers, the wife, after she gave birth, I think you still remember. we won't use name. Never again. Don't ever talk about giving birth. You know, and then he showed us all the scratches, and because he was one of those modern dads who wanted to go and hold the wife's head, but didn't hold properly, kena scratch and bruises. Came back to school and said, wow, I got scolded by wife. And then when the wife came back to Bible school, seriously, she said, never, ever have a baby. You know. And for months, our poor guy was a celibate. Yeah. And he had time to pray with us, you know, so prayerful. Then one day we asked him, Pastor, what's your prayer needs? We also already guessed, you know. Lord, change that particular sister. Then they have so many kids. So many kids. Our prayer was so powerful. You know. He's one of Bill Gotthart's followers. Many kids. We overprayed in Bible school. So, even sexually, some people get affected. Okay? And that is why I show you the slides. The divorce rate. No, the divorce rate. Okay? If you look at, this is the latest divorce rate in Malaysia, 2022. You will find that after most of the people get divorced 9 to 10 years after their wedding. Okay? Because the children came out. They were not able to handle the stress. Okay? They had no one to talk to. And then some of them don't want to divulge their private matters to others. Okay? And I always tell people, okay, especially in church, you don't talk to the pastor, or you don't talk to the counselor. Okay? If you talk to them, only one or two will know. If you don't talk to them, the whole world will know. So that's what happened. People divorce. The whole world knows. You know, the whole world knows. Sometimes I don't know why, you know, we don't have the wisdom to say, why do I seek counsel from one person, especially in church, that I can trust and help me through a situation, instead of letting it degenerate and then end up in divorce. And when you end up in divorce, everybody knows. You know, sometimes you say, oh, you're paiseh, I don't want people to know. When you divorce, the whole world know, right? Yeah. So let me encourage you, talk to your pastors, talk to those who are, you know, your care group leaders, because it does diffuse tension. Okay. So what you see is actually the median age for divorce is about 30s. So it's because it has children. Sometimes the partners are so fed up with the children. You know, some have crisis of own identities, that, oh, why do I really want to look like an old man taking care of kids? And then he wants to go and cycle, he wants to go and run, he wants to do everything to maintain his youth, you know, and the wife is at home struggling, and sometimes some of these nasty things comes up. Okay, some of these nasty things come out. It becomes very toxic. So we're going to deal with that later. So what happens is this: the baby becomes an opportunity for either the marriage to be strengthened, or it becomes an opportunity for the marriage to be tested, and then it begins to degenerate. Okay, so the other two things is there. Okay, E and F, they're back to the. No, back to the first slide. I think it's not on the slide. But in your notes that I given you, spiritually, okay, spiritually, if the church is not understanding, it will also affect the person's spiritual life. Okay, that's why in our church, we are a baby-friendly church. Baby can cry during the service. And I always remind the church, it's better to hear baby cry than no babies cry. That means there's no more new generation. Okay? And as adults, actually, we can tolerate some of this nonsense. I don't know why some adults, their concentration is so low. and just go out. If you're really messing up, just go out. We are a very baby-friendly church. We even have babies coming back after 1 month. Okay, they have a class, just singing and playing, and what else they have. They even teach the mother how to teach the children a cradle roll. You'll be surprised. Sunday, the baby even know it's Sunday. Wakes up early. All my kids wake up on Sunday morning earlier than when they go to school. Go to school, you got to shake them. And, there's drama to get them to kindergarten. But come Sunday, so the question we always ask in our church: how do they know it's Sunday? How do they know it's Sunday? And so we have babies coming to church just for the cradle roll. So even as a church culture, is it a baby-friendly church? Okay, or baby come in, cry there, the whole church, 200 look at the parents. And so it affects their spiritual life because they say, better don't go back. Or worse, they get scolded from the pulpit by a visiting speaker. Some people are like that, okay? No kids to disrupt the meeting. So as a church, you have to ask yourself, can a non-Christian bring their children here and find acceptance as the kids disturb the service for a while? All right, so financially, it does strain. It does strain the family. We are working with a young couple now. Okay, they can't even have a credit balance every month, and the baby is coming in September, and they're just wondering, okay, what's going to happen. Okay, the other thing I want you to look at is the stresses, just to appreciate. Okay, then later we will talk about how to build up the marriage. These are stresses. Basically, what happens is this. Okay, we'll skip the divorce rate. The stresses. What happens is this. Whether you like it or not, our social, cultural, political, economic do affect us. Okay? I don't know how many of you realize we have to spend 4.67 ringgit just to get $1. Those of us who are still traveling to US or have children in US, it's stressing us, especially if you have children studying there. Okay, so whether you like it, the community, okay, stress us. I was in US for a while. Driving in US, especially the suburban and the smaller city, is so nice. Everybody is 10 feet apart from each other. You go too near, they say you're very rude and all that. So the cars are all far apart. Then I come back here. Wow, the mat rampit here and there. In fact, my American guest said I can never drive in Malaysia. And then I'm so thankful after we dropped her at the airport. Yeah, we met a group of a motorcyclist. I think if she saw that, she would have fainted a head attack in the car. So your community do affect you, whether you like it or not. You see, for most of us, when we go to town with a handbag, consciously we hold on to it, right? There's unnecessary stress, right? Yeah, certain countries you don't do that, right? Yeah, you go to Singapore, I don't see you holding like that. I mean, so certain countries, because of their community and safety, you feel more relaxed. Okay, so that's what it means. There are some systems stress upon us. And so in Ipoh, most of you are more, what's that word? De-stressed. Because anywhere you drive also 20 minutes. Okay, my daughter from University of Taylor's to her house yesterday, day before. 1 hour 45 minutes. Half an hour just to get out of the car park. And there's no rain, no accident, no nothing, right? They also don't know what happened. 1 hour 45 minutes, a normal trip was what, 20 minutes? Yeah, 20 minutes. That kind of thing, Yeah, and I was waiting for one of your members. Supposed to be at dinner at 7:15. 8 o'clock also still haven't arrived. Yeah, can reach Ipoh. Yeah. Sometimes it's like that, the traffic jam. So for those of us who are living in KL, we are more stressed. Yeah. So that's what it means. Okay? And then the nuclear families, some of you don't have, okay, like Ipoh, you don't have your children anymore, some of you, they're all in KL, right? So your nuclear family is not with you. Okay? But in Malaysia today, not only do we, some of our nuclear family is not with us, we have also beginning to have unclear family. That means we're also not sure what type of family already. Stepchildren, parents with different children, and the stepchildren don't know how to mix, which is happening in America, but it's beginning to come into Malaysia. I was just telling my brother-in-law, one of my members was about to get married, raised up by another family. Then suddenly the father appeared. And 1 month before the wedding, the father who abandoned her, is it recorded? No, thank God. Okay. The father who wanted, the child who wanted to get married, the natural father wanted to walk her down the aisle. If you're the stepfather who raised her up, how would you feel? So we had drama for almost a month, right? Almost a month. That's what happened when you have this unclear type of family. Got two fathers. When it comes to important dates, but thank God, okay, for most of us, we have a very clear family. So that's why we want to do this to help some of our fellow Ipoh people who are struggling through. Okay, so, and then the other one you cannot stop. Okay, the horizontal stresses as you grow older. Okay, as you grow older, some of us pick up bad habit. I don't know why people like to say old men become very grumpy. Yeah, the saying, old man always grumpy. Okay, so you are laughing. Okay, your husband become grumpy. I don't know why we become grumpy. But somehow age causes us to be grumpy. So this type of thing, you cannot run on. Okay, you cannot run away because it's life development. And the other one is some of the unpredictable, untimely death, like your pastor went through. It's almost it's a year plus. Your pastor passed on. These are untimely, and it does affect the family. Okay, and if there's no support system, I just imagine if Pastor Mary was not in a church, she's a non-believer, it would have been much more difficult, right? It would be much more difficult. In a church there is that remembrance. You can still remember the person, with a sense of pride. There's the support system. It helps a lot. And so these are some of the things that are actually happening to many families. So I thought I just want to show you this. And then the other one that we want to discuss is this. Okay, what shapes your family? What shapes your family? Okay, this is where the rubber meets the road. There, the slide. Okay, what shapes your family? Okay, there are many ways our families are shaped. Now, I don't know whether they are intercultural marriage here or not, but if they are intercultural marriage, if your courtship is short, your marriage will be a shocker, okay? Because there are a lot of intercultural things that are very different, okay? Even though we know of our Indian friends, our Punjabi friends, our Malay friends, but in every intermarriage, there will be stress, okay? And you have to decide, okay? You have to decide what influences your thinking, even as a person. Is it our culture? Is it nowadays the social media? Okay, you see all our young fellas flipping their fingers nowadays, all small things. Very influenced by America. Everything also four-letter word, right? Yeah. People our generation, we have our own sign for four-letter word, right? We were young, right? Pastor Joseph, right? Our vulgar word sign is different, right? Yeah. And so the social media influences. Or is it the Bible? Yeah. Or is it the Bible? So many of you know, okay, like our cousins. Once you marry our cousin, the husband live like a king. Everything chill, must ask permission to leave, even to go to your parents' house. Chinese wife are totally different. Okay, Long Gong, I'm going home. I said, no need ask permission, just telling you only. That's being polite, I tell you. Drive off also, they're very different. You talk to your Malay friends and say, their wives don't live like that one. Right? I mean, we are close enough to know. So different culture, different expectation. I'm not too familiar with our Indian culture. But I know through a friend, the husbands are like king also. Live like king. Always served by the wife, right? Indian sisters. True or not? Dare not to say, or you say, no, we are Christian. I was teaching a class. This pastor asked me a very funny question. He asked me a question. He said, Pastor Samuel, how do I get my wife to stop washing my feet? Everybody looked at him and they said, Pastor George, your wife wash your feet. Yes. When he comes home, sit at the chair, the wife will take off the socks, right? Wash the leg. Oh. Then we say, George, how can you make your wife like slave? She said, no, she wants to wash my feet. If I don't let her wash, she say, I don't love her. She was trained that way by the parents. You love your husband, you serve him. Until today, she's a grandmother. Josh couldn't convince her to stop washing the feet. Till today. But not forced by Josh. So your culture do affect, Now my brother personally, my own brother, married a Malayani. Oh, he lived like a king, man. My Chinese wife, I thank God for her, but I do envy my brother. because my sister-in-law is a Malayani. Oh, you're from head to toe, man. Serve him. Man. And it started with what, Dowry. Dowry. We got a shock of our life. My sister-in-law's family want to pay my brother. Then my family got a shock. For Chinese, it's a lose of face, lose face, the guy give, right? So they say, no, we must give you. They say, no, we give you. I take lah. That time I was about to be a pastor. I said, why don't you both you give me? So there was actually a deadlock, There was a deadlock. So it's culture. If you follow culture, even you have a tension, So finally, both decide, you give, I give. That's it. That's how they solve the problem. So culture, seriously, I'm not sure how many of you are intercultural, but there is a different expectation. Okay, so maybe you begin to understand why your mother-in-law don't look at you so favorably, because you don't treat the kid well, right? Who was it who told us? Scared of the mother staying in the house. Oh yeah, we were just talking to this couple. Okay, they love to have the mother come and stay in their house, but the wife is so frightened. Why? Because in their culture, like I said, the wife is supposed to serve the husband. But this guy is a Christian, He serves the wife. He cooks for the wife. After cooking, he washes the plate. The wife lives like a queen, And then she said, the mother-in-law come, you are supposed to serve my son, not my son serve you. So it's a real cultural thing, right? Now I remember who. Yeah. So you understand, right? So what is the biblical? So that's why for us who have different culture and all that, we have to come to the biblical. Okay? Because if we don't think biblically, we're going to mess up. Okay? Our culture there's some shortcoming. The contemporary is going crazy. I was just reading an article about this man who is trying to breastfeed the child. The child is going to die very soon. Okay? It's not going to happen. You Google and say, man breastfeeding child. He's a trans man. He think he can, so he did everything. But there's no milk, okay? I can tell you, I don't need to be a doctor, right? There's not going to be any milk unless he put a hose and... So people are getting crazy. Those of you who want to migrate to US, you are also crazy. So, what influences your philosophy? Because if you don't have a common goal, a common platform, your marriage is going to suffer. Because, you see, a husband comes from tradition, the wife is coming from the Bible or contemporary. You will clash. You will always clash. Okay? And if you're clashing every day, I can tell you, without knowing you, you're clashing over small things. That's why you quarrel every day. If you quarrel every day, it's because of small things, not big things. You quarrel once a year, I worry. Those are big issues. They are never resolved. But if you quarrel every day, like people quarrel every day, because Pastor, can I see you? Never mind, quarrel one more day, tomorrow come. It's all those minor things. That's why you quarrel every day. But if you quarrel once a year, those are big issues that not resolved. Okay, let's move on. So I just want to make that another statement. And then, because if you want to use tradition all the way. Okay, you want to use Bible all the way. But you cannot, one party use Bible, the other party talk about tradition. Because you will clash. So the more you agree, then the less you quarrel. Okay? So let's do an exercise. Because I just want to lay the foundation. So, the other one. So this exercise will help you. The next one. This, the priority. Okay. This exercise will help you realize whether you and your wife share the same values or not. Okay. Because if you share the same values, like tonight, I'm very happy. There's so many of you because you value marriage. You value marriage. Okay. Even though you're forced here by your wife or your husband, you value marriage. That's why you're here. Okay. And you prioritize because tonight you can do a lot of things. Okay. Ipoh, you can do a lot of things. So you prioritize, and that's why you made the decision to come. Okay. Now, if you don't value the same thing your spouse, you would have quarreled just now before you came here. Then your wife or your husband would have blackmailed you. Come lah, just come lah, show face lah. Tomorrow I give you some money, go and buy gold or buy whatever you want. Then you come, right? So whatever it is, okay. What shapes your decision making? So the more you value the same things, you share the same things, and your children share the same thing. That's why the family quarrel less. Okay, because actually it's the priority that clashes. I told you dinner is important. Grandpa is coming. Never mind lah. Grandpa is still so young, won't die lah. That's why you quarrel lor. That's why you scold the son lor. No respect at all. Tell you come back at 7, they come back at 9 o'clock. Grandpa went home. That's why some families quarrel like that. Because their value is different. Okay, so let's do an exercise. Let's do an exercise. No need to share with your wife. Go home and share. Okay? Now you just do. Okay, what makes a happy home? What is your dream of a happy home? Okay? Avon, right? Arvin. Oh, Sister Arvin. Okay, just click everything. Okay, so for a happy home, in your mind, in a happy home, what are the essentials? Just write 1 or 2. Two lah. Too many things. No. You think about it. What are the 2 things that are essential? It's okay, bro. Don't worry. Hey, I thought you said you're single. I asked who is single, you put up the hand. Kena caught. All right. So, what are the essentials that make up a happy home? Okay, disclaimer. If all the things that you write and your husband write is totally different, you are still a happy home. Don't quarrel over it. Okay? So let's just write in your notes. What is the most essential must-have to be a happy home? Hey, you got no notes. Everybody should have notes. Oh, no pen. Oh, all right. Write on your phone. Write on your phone. Hey, what's the time already? Can I see what time? What time am I supposed to? Yeah, but what time am I supposed to? All right, because we have a few exercises. Yeah, we have a few exercises. We don't want to make it boring. Okay. Chong lah, kena already. Okay. But that one's a loving hit. Okay, essential. What must have one? All right? To make a happy home. Okay? No. Not necessarily material things, but if you think must have money, then to make a happy home, you can write. Just be honest with yourself. But more of like trust, love, those intangible but priceless things. Yeah. Or what do you equate a happy home? That's all. If you say it's money, yeah, it's okay. Okay? Or fame, but remember Coco Lee just committed suicide. And some of the Korean actresses, pop singers, K-pop singers. So you come to realize, yeah, fame, sometimes money doesn't mean much. Okay, even to a happy life. Okay, ideal. You don't have it now in your family. You think you don't have it now, but you wish you have. Okay? So if you think that if you have a 5-room bungalow will make you a happy home, then you just write it there. Whatever. Okay? Something that you really feel. Okay, two enough. Okay, later we will we will do the mentee. Yeah. Yeah. Can? Anybody need a pen? Pencil? All right. Yeah, children you can do. Yeah, I used to be like you also, 15 years old when I was in church, but I think you are younger than 15. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, tolerated. Okay, because our husbands and wives are not perfect, but some things can tolerate lah. Snoring, no choice, can live with it. Okay. Today when we were driving here, my wife was asking, was just using an illustration. Then I suddenly realized, yeah, she was asking me why am I sleeping facing away from her. Then I suddenly got caught, I said, hey, isn't that the way you push me to sleep because I snore? Because recently I picked up snoring, I don't know why. Suddenly I kept telling my wife, whenever did I snore? She said, yeah, you're snoring. So now she put me sideways, snore away from her. But then she also complaining, I'm no more hugging her. Like, hey, you are the one who started it. Okay, so tolerated, So now when we drive back, she has to decide, better for me to hug her and sleep and snore at her, or tolerated, or intolerable, cannot, kick you out. Okay, I prefer my sleep than my snore. So there are some things intolerable. For example, mistrust, whatever. Okay, yeah, I know some, especially ladies, they warn their husband that if I ever find out, if you ever have another woman, that's it. No second chance, no third chance or whatever. So some things are intolerable. I was talking to a very young man. I did this with this young man. I asked him, if you only have one, what will it be? So he said, trust. And then I asked him, can you even trust your girlfriend now? He said, cannot. I said, why are you going to get married for what? That's it. Because we put trust so high, and they're just, 1 month, 2 months, going out, exploring possibility and cannot trust. So I said, you better think twice. Okay? As a pastor, I don't tell people break off and all that. I say, you think for yourself. All right, so let's do a Mentimeter and we see what is the one essential everybody is talking about. Alvin? Okay, let's try this Mentimeter. It's a very nice, it's a fun thing. Okay, can I? Okay, just get our handphone ready. Why it went off? Oh no, you have to show that one first. Okay, let's do a... What's that? Go back to my slides, it's there. Oh. Wait Seran tergendala. Any question? Anybody ask so far? Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this. Okay, how long have you been married? Eh? No lah. No, there's the... Yeah, is it the right question? Is this the right question? No, you are supposed to be... Yeah, the next one. No, not this one. Can I? there should be 4 questions. Anybody, you got the 4 questions? Huh? All right. I think we siaran tergendal lah, man. There are the 4 questions there. All right. Most of you are between 13 to 12. All right. Okay, a happy home. What is the essential? Just type one only. Just one word. Okay, trust or love or money or happiness or love. Okay. Wow, love is so big. Respect, peace. Wow, love, Christ, God, communication, respectful. Happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. All right. Nobody put happy husband, right? It's okay. When the husband is not happy, what happens? That's your problem, right? That's the reality of marriage, okay? At least this couple is very honest. Okay. Happy wife. Yeah, how come nobody put happy husband? Finance. Okay. What is okay? Everything is okay. All right. I think love, trust, respect. Yeah. I mean, if there's one thing you have to choose. Okay, so this is something you have to talk to your wife. And like I said, if you can all have common values, common expectation, you will have less quarrel. Because you are both moving together in the same direction. Okay, money is coming up. Yeah, it's true. Okay, but sometimes with more money, you have more problem. Okay, especially for us guys. One of the ways I protect my marriage is to let my wife, have access. We have a joint account, and then even if any sweet young thing wants me to be the sugar daddy, I have to turn around and say, "You got to be the sugar daughter. I got no money." So that's one of the ways. I've seen many men felt that way. Okay, especially when they are sent overseas to be expat. Sometimes, especially our emerging economy in Southeast Asia, we have lost a few men that we know personally. Okay, it's quite tempting because you have the money, you can take care of another person, and the person feel grateful, and so things happen. Okay, must have ideal. Okay, so love, trust, respect, very high. Okay, money is also very high. Okay, ideal. What are the things that you wish for? Not happening in your family yet, but something a maid. Yeah, a maid. All right, a maid. Okay, let me tell you, a maid can be a help from heaven or hell. Okay, yeah. They give you more headache. But if you have a good maid, you better bless God for them and give them more appreciation. But that money again. Sorry, underwear? Where is underwear? Oh, underwear. Somebody's not wearing underwear. Yeah, always on the lookout. Okay. Dog. Oh, dog. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But you see, there are so many different things, right? There are so many different things. There are only about 100 of you, but there are so many things. Okay, time, freedom, a less spending wife. Oh no. Somebody is going to sleep at the doghouse tonight. All right. Serious underwear. What a mystery. I must take a picture. This is the first time underwear came out. Okay, most probably, I'm not exercising word of knowledge, but most probably there's an eccentric millionaire here, okay, because I actually have a millionaire friend. The maid went to tell the ma'am, can I give you some money to buy new underwears for the sir? Because his underwear is so holy. He likes it that way. He likes it that way. He's a multi-millionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. And the maid actually go and ask the wife, can I give you some money to buy new underwear? Because she was so scared to wash. Remember that? It was so hilarious when she asked us what to do. Because it will be an insult to the husband. And she knows the husband is crazy, okay? So, yeah, maybe same type of husband. Ferrari, yeah. But will Ferrari make a happy home? So if you look at some of that, they are just wishes. They're just wishes, but it is real. It is real. So it's good if you talk. But some of these are secret. They know to tell one. Less spending wife, I don't know whether you dare to tell your wife or not. A submissive wife, that means the wife not submissive. Okay, so these are some of the things. After my wife is going to teach you how to talk to one another. Okay, okay. So very quickly, the other one. What is tolerable? Intolerable. Yeah, what is intolerable? And then I think we stop here. Or change to tolerable. Yeah, no choice. Can live with it. Actually, we should go intolerable because of time. Done. Yeah. Anger. Non-cooking wife. Snoring. No choice, you got to live with it. Okay, non-cooking wife. I know a family that's been eating chap fan every night. Okay, farted in the same room. I think that's what marriage is all about. But don't become so mean. Yeah. Cursing people, minor argument. Busy husband who travel. Okay, now some of these things are tolerable. I think the wife have come to live with it. You want the husband to provide a certain lifestyle. He has to work certain hours, okay? Yeah, wife gossip, all right. OCD, nagging wife, tidak apa. Tolerable. Oh, actually you all got very good, actually your tolerance level very high. You are farting husband or wife, I don't know. Nobody put there, okay? Very tolerant. Snoring, yeah, you can't. Yeah. No housekeeping. Wife yakking or messiness. Daily bread. All right. So you see that some of these things, now, children, you saw some of these things, some of you always say, I don't get married, man. Okay? But actually it's tolerable. When you love someone, that's why the Bible says love overcomes. You can really overcome it. But the person that is guilty of this, don't take advantage. You want to fight. I mean, if it leaks out, there's no choice, but don't do it purposely every night, every day, okay? So flush after peeing. I don't know. I have this problem, okay, about flush after peeing. I actually flush because I think water is still cheap. But I know some people don't flush because they think it's waste of money. They're always going green, save the money. Yeah, until how yellow then before you flush. So, so this type of thing need to be communicated. There must be a reason why your husband doesn't want to flush, okay, or the wife doesn't want to flush, okay. Now, a non-cooking wife, so your husband is tolerating that, okay, very good. So that's why you're still alive. If your wife cook, you may be dead already, food poisoning. So think about it the other positive way. Okay, the last one. Wow, actually you got very high tolerance level. Very high. Even inconsiderate also can tolerate. Okay, what cannot be tolerated? Okay, threat, mother-in-law, cheating. Yeah, mother-in-law. Short temper, betrayal, yeah. All right. Be-sing, infidelity, yeah. Be-sing. Okay, emotionally hurting word, short temper, yeah. Vandalism, wow. Vandalize. controlling, insult. Okay, now, so this is where we are going to come. Because we cannot afford this, okay, we're going to skip. Because we cannot afford this, so there's one slide there. Okay, so you see this. All right. Still coming in? Okay, I think infidelity, that's the highest reason for divorce in Malaysia. I got the latest. There are 5 things people divorce. Infidelity is the highest. Okay, change the next slide. Thank you, sister. All right, so you realize there's so many words up there. So tonight, if you can talk to your husband, what is the one thing? Because they may not even know. That's what you keep in your heart. Okay, so because of that, you find that, to have a very satisfying marriage, the University of Denver came up with this survey, the whole of US in recent years, and Denver has a very good marriage and family department. They came out and they realized that there are 4 things that every marriage needs. 1, physical safety. You feel safe. You're not abused. That's why abusive marriage creates a lot of danger. I, for one, in fact, I was just telling someone, I, for one, for abuse cases, especially police report and hospital, if there are multiple cases, even as a pastor, I'm very open for divorce, because the Bible says, we have to be married till death do us part. An abusive marriage where even, not necessarily the wife have abused husbands also. If there are multiple hospital cases, to me, one of these days, the person will die. So, even as a pastor, looking at the situation, I have advised one person to divorce. Because it's a matter of time she'll be found dead. Yeah. So it's till death do us part. So it's just that you part before you die. That's it. But I mean, the trajectory is that one of these days. So for the type of case, we said you better divorce, or ask the husband to divorce you. So physical safety. So those of us who appreciates, the physical safety, our husband or wife providing us the physical safety, you definitely have a more satisfying marriage. And then emotional safety. That is why the wife cannot gossip too much, or the husband. Because if you cannot share openly with the spouse that you have, who can you share with? So you don't have a situation you spend with your spouse, and then the whole family knows about it, the whole extended family. Okay? So that's why our commitment is actually to our spouse. Okay? And the spouse needs to understand that no matter how close you are to your siblings, you cannot simply go and tell them without the permission of your spouse. Otherwise, it's a betrayal. And so they will not continue to tell you. Because it's very awkward, let's say I share something, and then after the guy saying out and say, hey, I heard sister say this. I was like, taken by surprise, Yeah. But if she said, can I talk to my brothers about it? Yeah, sure, go ahead. At least I'm aware. So some of these things, that's why betrayal ranks so high, not just physical betrayal, but even emotional betrayal. Okay? Then the other is the commitment safety. That's why the Christian marriage is so different. Till death do us part. You talk to our Malay friends, seriously, I was helping this lady in the research because she was trying to get her doctorate in marriage. And she was trying to do a research on this, the commitment, safety. And I told her, from a Muslim perspective, it's very difficult. Because your husband can marry three other wives. How do you find commitment safety? So how many times I met her? I also forgot. But basically, she also realized, there's no commitment safety. That's why there's the nervousness. They can only feel committed after the 4th marriage. Then they know, okay, you use up your quota already. Go and look for another one. Yeah, it's like that. The other one is whether old man talak 1, talak 2. So, but at least they know quota use up. So I was talking to this lady, and her doctorate research was actually about commitment. Why the Muslim ladies don't feel safe? Because they know their husband can marry 3 others. Yeah. And the worst still, if they don't have children. then you have to go and look for someone for your husband. So we are not looking down on them, but that's their rights. But their rights create a commitment safety issue. Okay? So Chinese wives, not even Christian wives, Chinese wives, thank God for that type of commitment. Especially in the olden days, we marry into the family, right? So the parents will tell you, keep the family name properly, So that's why the tolerance level will go up. Useless husband, but you just complain and vent all you want, but you stay committed. Yeah, not like the Western American divorce. What's the reason? Incompatible. What is incompatible? Cannot. That's it. Okay, divorce. So communal safety, where you stay, because if you stay in a very rough area, every day your wife will say, you want our child to die, is it? You want our child to die, is it? Look at the people, the neighborhood. Let's shift. And then you're thinking how to shift. The rental is so high, the house is so expensive. Yeah. And if you don't work together, that's why where you stay also affects your family. Like Americans are fleeing Chicago and San Francisco. Why? Because every weekend 30 people get shot dead. Do you want to stay in that area? No? Yeah, it's so crazy. No? Minimal 30. So this year alone, how many? Just like that. So even the community, that's why Ipoh people are less stressful. Yeah, I see the way people drive. Oh, never horn on Ipoh. Never horn. I mean, I haven't been horned yet in Ipoh. It's amazing. In Subang, the people horn you. Horn and horn and horn. Just expressing their anger and frustration, you cut in. Ipoh somewhere. Big way for you. So even your community does affect. Okay? I can tell you how community affect divorce. If you live in a country where divorce is easily available, if you live in a church like in America, the pastors is divorced twice. When you want to divorce, the pastor is not going to say, don't now. Hey, I think you should also. I also divorced. That's why divorce in churches in America has gone up. The community provides the safety. Or the community takes away the safety. Okay, I'm going to pass over to Q&A first. Okay, Q&A. Okay, Q&A. Before we go into how to make your marriage safer by conversation. Okay, any Q&A? Anybody want to ask a question first? Then we take a 2-3 minutes break if you need to go toilet. Then my wife will come and teach us how to gauge the daily temperature. Okay? If you're smart, you need to know whether there's something boiling in your spouse or not. All right. Any questions so far? Anybody? Don't have to ask for yourself. Ask for, the other person. You're not talking about your wife. You're talking about somebody's wife. Your colleague's wife will always nag at you, nag at him. Anybody, any question? The friend that you know. The friend that you know. And then when your wife asks you which friend, you die already. How come I don't know that friend? Okay. Anyone? Otherwise, I'll ask my wife to come. This daily temperature helps a lot. Okay? Now, initially I didn't want to teach this, but 2 weeks ago, I have a couple come to us, Okay, I have a couple come to us, and their marriage has become so bad, they don't even say thank you to each other. I was surprised, I said, huh? And they're church people, They say good morning, they say thank you to church people, but they don't say thank you to each other. What else they don't say? Basically, they don't say any good things. Yeah, which is a shocker to me, Shocker to me. And so I put them in a WhatsApp group, and for the last few days, I think, mind you, they are in their 40s, right? Maybe 50s, 50s. I got to text her, have you said good morning? Can you imagine a pastor's job? Have you said good morning to each other? Did you say thank you? And then yesterday I asked, did you give a good night kiss? Things like that, The basic of marriage. Yeah. So I don't know whether yours is as bad as theirs or not. But if you don't do this, it can. Okay, so I'm going to pass over to my wife. Okay, this. Oh, the Slido. Oh, yeah, you can key in your question. Okay. How to make wife happy forever. All right. Never mind. What the answer? Okay. I answer first. How to make wife happy forever? Okay, first of all, you have to ask your wife, what will make you happy? Because an unappreciative wife, a wife that's not even sure what will make her happy, you can do all you want and she will still not be happy. So you got to really write a paper, contract. What you want me to do? Come home at 5 o'clock. Okay. When I come home at 5 o'clock, you make sure you smile. Okay. Serious, you got to sometimes do some basic like that. Because, we have a classical case. Many of you have read the book, right? Chapman's book, The 5 Languages of Love. I have 1 or 2 couples in my church. Even in my church, the husband will do everything for the wife, and the wife is like, what for? All I want is, I say, I love you. Don't go and buy things for me. Right? So we have this type of mismatch. So if you really want to make your wife happy, okay, ask your wife. Ask your wife. That's the best. That's what you mean, having the same values, having the same thoughts. Okay, what was the next question? What is the church view of divorce or widower to remarry? I'm a widower, I remarried. Okay? Pastor Connie is my second marriage. It can be bad. I know of second marriages that ended up in divorce, even a pastor. Because he married the second wife to be the mother to the children. Whereas I took a longer period of experiencing my widowhood. And then Alicia was involved in our courting. And we told Alicia, Pastor Connie is not going to be your mother, but she will take care of you. Because she was about 8 years old then, right? She was 8. So I didn't marry her to be the mother of my child. I married her as a person. And I think eventually when she was 15, when she was from 3, I think, she called you mother. She said, everyone call you mother. And so they have a fantastic relationship. So, we don't go around telling people, this not the birth mother. But people are always amazed when they find out there's such a close relationship. Okay, how to make my husband romantic? I have bad news for you. I really have bad news for you. Okay, it's not in that person's personality. Okay, in fact, I have a set of notes. Chances are your husband is a Mr. Spock. Mr. Spock. Okay, I don't believe he's an engineer. Okay, people always say engineer, no, not romantic. We have romantic engineers also, but that's their makeup. But it can be learned. Okay, you send your husband to us, we can tutor him. But it's not natural. Initially, it's not natural. Okay? So this is where I always tell the wife. Okay, because every man also have different needs, different rewards. So I always ask the wife, what would make your husband happy? Okay, if he likes to eat, then you cook for him. If he wants intimate relationship, then are you willing to provide or not? So we can train him like a puppy, train him, all right? Then you reward him. Like Maslow's, okay? Maslow. Wow, I say I love you, get this reward that I really want, So we did that even with the pastor, remember? This pastor, when she came to our church, she said, Pastor, why you always say I love you to your wife one? Then I said, why? What's wrong? They said, my husband only said one time at the wedding only. We got a shock out of life. I said, don't joke. I said, no. Then I whispered something to the husband. Then I told her, you reward him. So the husband brought her to Bangkok, Oh, yo. Almost midnight, she's called up. Wow, my husband says, I love you. Wow, like mad, like a child. So whoever is the non-romantic husband, please. So she was screaming, and she was what? Almost 60 years old. Almost 60 years old, screaming, more than that. Screaming, oh, Pastor, he said, I love you, second time. The children are almost 40 years old. So I'm not joking, okay, I'm serious. This is the one couple I I actually witnessed just saying I love you 2 times. Of course, now he's saying more. Now she don't call up to report. It's like biasa already. But she did what I told her to do. She rewarded the husband. I won't tell you what, that's their privacy. Okay, how to make my wife spend less? Is it your money or her money? Seriously, okay, these are all don't want to anonymous. Okay, if it's her money, okay, if it's her money, why is it her money? Okay, in my church, we always teach, Pastor Connie and myself, we have only one account, joint account. Okay, we spend from there, we tell our children, mom and dad is giving you this money. It's not my money, your money. Okay, if she runs away all the money. If I run away all the money. But we don't run away because we trust each other. Okay, so how to make my wife spend less? I also don't know.
Temperature reading.
Okay, after the temperature reading. This one, after that, I'll answer you. Okay. How to make my husband drink less and exercise more? Okay, I think I need my wife. I need my wife to do that exercise, then I answer out this question. Okay. Yeah, because how to control eating. Because I don't know everything, so I don't want to answer. But my wife will help you. Because many of these are requests for change. These are requests for change. So we have a tool. It's called the temperature tool. It was popularized by one of the family therapists, and it has been very helpful. Okay, it's a question of how for change, because some of us Asians we request for change by insulting people. You see, you're so fat. You look like Nising. Nising is not like you. All that of compare this, compare that. How do you expect the husband to respond, or the wife? So okay. Pastor Connie is going to share with us this tool. Okay, and this tool helps emotional safety also.
Okay, thank you, my dear. Okay, as I told him, okay, this is all to do with behavior change. So we will do something practical after this.
I'm a classical example of behavioral change, okay?
Yeah, it's changed. Can I have the slides? Are the slides on? Sorry? Forward. But
No,
the slides are not on.
You got point forward.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I don't see any
You want
slides.
this or not? You want this? You want this mic? Then you don't have to hold.
It's okay. No worries. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Okay, Arvin. Hold on. We don't stress. Thank you, Arvin. Okay, let me just briefly. Actually, it is called daily. Or you have it in your notes. No worries. Now, daily temperature reading. Now, it was popularized by this Virginia Satir, one of the family therapists. And that was way before COVID times, right? Can you remember when COVID started? Everywhere you go, take temperature. Coffee shop also temperature, whichever shop also temperature. So this is actually way before that. But it's really very good because we find that that's how you really get to know each other. And there are actually 5 things, okay? We start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just remember the top and the bottom. First one is appreciation. That's basically how you get to know not just your spouse, between family members. I see there's so many young ones here, so family members. You can also chat with your dad, your mom can also chat with you. Sometimes you come back, how's everything? Okay. What does okay means? And sometimes you just get one word answer, right? So these are how we learn to communicate what's in our heart. And we always let's start with the first one is appreciation, and remember the last one. Your dreams, your hopes, for your relationship as a family together. Whether it's husband and wife, Pastor Samuel and myself with this dream. When we're old, we like to be holding hands, not just, because sometimes we complain, right? The young couples, wow, before they talk, wow, hold hands, stick so close, cannot let go. After that, once they get married, after a few years, wow, far apart. Like now, actually, I was just joking with him about turning the other way around because we were talking about this thing about puzzles. So we always start with so one of my dreams. Okay, always end. And then in between is all this behavioral change, which have all these questions you ask: how to make my wife spend less, how to make my husband eat less, whatever you all put up there. Okay, so it starts with appreciation and ends with a dream. So when we all chit chat, always start with appreciation, and that's the best way to get what you want. If for example, you feel that, like for example, okay, the wife one, okay, you think your wife spent $500 on her own clothes, or maybe every month, and without stopping. If one day, 1 month is a bit less, just appreciate. Wow, praise the Lord, wife. This month you only bought one shoe instead of buying 3 pairs of shoes. So it starts with appreciation. That's the first thing. Is you want to get things going. Appreciate when you see positive change. And then in between you have new information. Basically, you share what's happening in our lives. We update each other, because sometimes we can just go through. I heard Pastor Joseph just came back from mission trip. I don't know whether your wife asked you, how's your mission trip? Okay. Or both went together. Not so bad. Sometimes husband and wife, they go different. How's it? Okay. So we share with one another new information. And then after that, puzzles. So this was the part I was just testing out with Pastor Samuel. I say, what do you mean by puzzles? Puzzles are behaviors that you see in each other's in your family. Not necessarily husband or wife, that you don't understand. So you scratch your head, like, how come nowadays you So I was testing him. Maybe one of my puzzle will be, okay, why does he face that side when he sleep? So it'd be like, it's just something like, okay, wondering why do you actually do like that? Because I don't understand. So that's when we can ask, okay? So actually, how do you actually remember? Start with A and W. I just remember start appreciations, end with wishes, hopes and dreams. Then in between you can process some of these things, new information, puzzles, and then that's the green one. This is the one that sometimes we are because we just open our mouth and it's like, actually I'm a bit concerned. You're eating too much, or you're spending too much, or it's like all those questions that you ask there. So these are concerns that you come up with, and you ask for requests for change with a recommendation. But actually, how you do that, okay? So now we go to the next slide, which is not, okay? It's not here, okay? Can we have the next slide, please? Okay, you take note, then you're going to do this practical exercise after this. Have you heard of XYZ statements? Anybody heard of XYZ statements? It's not algebra, okay? Not A plus B plus C, okay? XYZ statements, this is how it works, okay? Basically, it's how you talk to one another in a way that's not threatening, in a way that is, instead of, you're always late one, you always, basically, instead of a blaming position, you make me so upset. So basically, instead of getting into provoking each other, saying things that we normally say, this is how do we structure our conversation so that it brings positive change. Okay, so so you go practice this, right? When you did this, okay, so for example, when you, like for example, the spending on, right? When you bought 1 pair of shoes last month instead of 3 pairs of shoes, in this situation, because even though we went to so many shopping malls, but in that situation, I felt you hurt me. That we need to budget a bit more because our children are going overseas. So this is how you structure an XYZ statement. So when you did something, so you present to the person you're talking to. When you did this, when you so we look at some of the examples. Okay, next slide. It's the XYZ. See, can you see the X? So you can do it for appreciation. Okay, so you say, when you compliment me, when we go out for dinner, I feel happy. So you actually, so instead of you make me, you're always inconsiderate. You always never think about me. So instead of bringing something to that person and provoke the whole situation, you always talk with, when you do something, I feel happy. Okay, this is a positive statements, because you know why? I always feel that we need to champion on the positives, because we always see all the bad things about each other, right? Oh, why do you always fart in front of me. No, let go gas in front of me. No, instead of like, wow, praise the Lord, 3 weeks, three days, and I haven't smelled a stinking bomb in the room. No, so do we pick that up or not? No, or instead of like, oh, why is it always like that? No, so we always start with appreciation first. So when you help me with the house chores without being asked to, I feel love. Oh, when you come back and you call me children, no, when tell your children, when you come back, you call me, hi mom, hi dad, I feel, wow, my children recognize I'm around, no. So tell them, I feel that, no, I feel respected. No, when you share with me what happened in your day at work, I feel included. I don't feel like I don't know what's happening. So what is the thing? So you think hard, you go practice after this with each other. So what are the things you like to, you see that's good in your family member, okay, not just husband and wife, but whoever is staying with, since we are talking about family, right? And you want to encourage, it makes me feel so good. Okay, so start with the appreciations. Everybody say appreciation. Tell each other, I appreciate you, you appreciate me. You start appreciation first. So X, when you do something, Y is what? In this type of situation, and Z is what? I feel. Okay, get it? Easy, right? Okay, my husband says that. Wait, there's you want to say something? Okay.
Yeah. So for example, about the eating, so you need to appreciate the husband, okay? You know, I love you, the children love you, but if you continue to eat this way, it concerns me that we won't have a husband for long. I mean, it has to be something like that. 你去死啦！你食到死啦！你早死㗎啦！ Which is actually the truth. You know, the person will die. It's just like, you're cursing me, I might as well die, man. You know, so it's very different. So this, dear, come use carry on. So I thought that should answer the question why you shouldn't eat so much. It's a request because you want him to live. Whereas the typical Cantonese is, 食多啲啦，早死啊！同你講。Sorry for the Indian brother. It means you eat so much, you're going to die early, okay? So it doesn't sound like you want them to live long also. Okay, here you go.
Sorry. Okay, so that's what he was talking about. For the these are requests for change. Okay, concerns with recommendation or requests for change. We can call it C. So we say, okay, so you can actually person. So if your spouse is complaining for you, you can actually feedback. When you mention about my diet or my weight in front of my friends, I feel self-conscious. Remember the X? When you do something, okay, when I ask you for help, but instead you tell me I did wrong, I feel scolded. I feel that I'm not helped. So it's like, so you say when something's happened at this type of a circumstance, then that will be I feel. You get it? Alright? So when you leave the wet towels on the floor for me to find, I feel taken advantage of. I praise the Lord, my husband. So I must compliment him. He was just telling me, hiya, you always keep because I'm like, okay, I need to get this thing washed later. Then you get it?
Let's try.
Okay.
Sound test, sound test. All right. Now, I think most of you are very uncomfortable, okay? Because this is the first time you're actually talking to one another this way. But that's how we get to communicate. No point having corridor talk. No point talking when you're in the car because you cannot see eye to eye. No point talking when you're about to rush off to work. Sometimes we want to ambush our spouse, but it creates extra tension. So what Pastor Connie and myself do is this: if we really have issues to talk about, we always go to our kitchen table. We bring out all the cups and water, not to get ready for battle. Lots of water to cool ourselves down. And then we talk. Because if you don't talk properly, what will happen is this. Typical Malaysian, then your wife will say something like, have you listened to me or not? So when you put up the hand, sometimes actually it's like, excuse me, I want to go and get water. What is that? Get lost lah. I don't hear you. I mean, they can misinterpret that language, So that's why we always sit down and talk. I can honestly tell you, my wife has never shouted at me. We have never shouted. There's a certain decibel in our house. Even our children, when they go up the decibel, they get told, shh, 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 shh. Tone down. Because volume, decibel doesn't help in conversation. If you are talking nonsense, no matter how loud, also it's still nonsense. So we have learned to communicate without all the drama. Okay. So why do we start with appreciation? Okay, it's because you make the person feel valued. You make the person understand that, okay, there are things I appreciate about you. I do that to my church members also. So I'll be there like, Connie, you've been very helpful. You have helped in the children's ministry. You helped this, you have dealt that. But I need to tell you this. Because this is holding you back. So then, instead of just, come and see me in the office, hey, Connie, or not? You do this, you do that. Not very good, And the person don't even feel appreciated. And why am I being changed for? Whereas when you appreciate the person, then the person realizes, wow, you're a good person, but this is holding you back, or this is messing up your life. Yeah. So in the same way with husband and wife, that's why we always start with appreciation. And then sometimes to make the conversation healthier, and also to not into a routine, because each time you give appreciation, the wife will say, say lah, what have I done wrong? So sometimes it's just appreciation without request. In fact, concerns with recommendation is very limited in our conversation. More of appreciation, like her wish is like, when we are old, we'll still walk together hand in hand, without a tongkat. We never saw ourselves holding tongkat, just holding hands, walking. So that's our wish, So if you want to hold hands when you're 90 years old, you might as well start holding hands now. Okay, so that kind of thing. So, all right, anything else you want to add? So initially it may seem very mechanical, but we use it, just test the temperature today. But for my wife, she's always smiling, so when she doesn't smile, I know I need to use this. It's puzzling me why she's not smiling. Okay, my two rascals, like two boys, but now one more left only. So I always ask Joel, hey, you say anything to mom? No. Oh, die. No miss is me. Then I'll ask her, okay, do you have anything? Then she said, no, it's nothing to do with you. Ooh, thank God. Okay, so that's what puzzles sometimes is puzzling, but it's good. Okay, so let's look at some of the questions. I think the clock was slow, so I used up all my time. Let's look at some of the questions. So most of it has to do with health. Okay, eat less, So, like I said, the request for change is that you want your husband or wife to live longer. Okay, you really enjoy their company. That's why you want them to live longer. So that's why some of us went for health exercise. But to be insulted and say, you're so fat lah, you're this lah, you're that lah, why you're not like brother so and so, it won't help. Okay? Because some people in their depression eat more, right? Some people express their depression by eating. So you will make your husband depressed, he'll eat more, he'll get fatter, okay? So if you give brother, I see that, brother. And I also saw your wife jabbing you, okay? Yeah, I see that, okay. All right, so, okay, my husband is closer to my children than me. Okay, this one, the sister, you got to ask yourself, why is he closer to the children? Now, this is where some of us fight, okay, our battle through our children. If he's a better husband, father, it's okay. But unfortunately, sometimes we fight our battles through our children. So this is where the mother will discipline. Oh, must study. The father will come back and say, no need, watch a movie, whatever you want. Actually, purposely to jab her. So you got to be very careful. Is it a battle to see who is most popular in the family, or are you all fighting? Okay, that's why about to divorce parents always mess up the kids. One will always want to be the hero. Take out lah, no need to do homework lah. Yeah, and that's why divorce families, if you know of friends, warn them, okay, because they will cause the children to become very confused, especially those with child custody. Okay, either the father or mother don't care, don't want to be the disciplinarian because I want to be a better father than the other. I almost used that word, the wicked witch. Yeah. So when they are weak, it's all about games, it's all about fun time, it's all about watching movie. Then when the kids go back, you're done your homework or not? Did your father ask you to do homework? No, we didn't know we got homework, right? Kids are kids. Hiya, never do homework. Sit down and do. Tomorrow got school. Oh, the wicked witch. Yeah, what Dad says is true. Wicked witch. But actually, she's a responsible mother. I actually have one case like that. She has to be the wicked mother. Otherwise, the kids will be useless kids. So they're actually fighting, So if you have this case, you got to ask, okay, is it because you are not close to your children? Because you have to play the disciplinarian role? So this one, you really got to have that concern. You got to tell your husband, you're not being fair to me. I request a change, okay? Let's do the discipline together. So this is where, like earlier I was saying, if you have the same values, so in our family, both of us are disciplinarian. Both of us are Santa Claus. We don't play the bad guy and good guy. Yeah. Okay. How to motivate husband in helping out with household chores? Okay, if you're Uncle George, he's raised up that way in that community, you'll never do. Okay, like for me, I do everything. Right? Yeah. My wife, seriously, nobody, she doesn't have to force me. I don't know why, I just enjoy washing plates. Okay. Maybe before I was a Christian, I was a dishwasher. If you believe in that, okay? So seriously, I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it because that's my love language. I do things for my family. Yeah. And I don't begrudge it. Okay, so maybe sister, this one, if he doesn't do household chores, is he doing other things or not for you that you can appreciate? Yeah. You know, my wife is 99% a perfect wife, but for many years, I was very irritated with her, 1%. Wherever she goes, okay, God will go with her, that's for sure. But also the tissue will go with her. Everywhere in my house, tissue here, tissue there. Yeah, it's like, it's a blind corner, she cannot see that she left tissue there. And it used to drive me crazy because I think I'm a bit OCD. Yeah, then I'll call her, Connie, calm down. Why? There's a tissue on the table. Yeah, but she's a 99 almost 0.1, perfect. Then one day I changed my attitude. It's like, why am I harping on her? Just throw away. And then after that, I feel so nice. My wife became 100% perfect wife. I mean, she doesn't give me problem. Why am I harping on that tissue? I mean, every now and then it irritates me. But I've learned to just throw it away. The way I clean up all the other rubbish. But somehow with her tissue, it's like, remember those days? Yeah, now she doesn't even know she has thrown tissue all over the place because I pick it up for her. Okay, tonight you see a tissue here, that's my wife, not me. Yeah. So sister, can you appreciate him for something else? Yeah, you think about it. Don't suddenly put up your hand. So maybe he's doing more than that, and then he just want to come home and relax. Or he was raised up that way. You know, I have a church member. He has never stepped into his kitchen. Never. The mother and the auntie taught him there's not a place a man should go. There's only the wife. I mean, there's Penang people. Then he became a Christian, and then he saw the man in the church. That's how the wife became a Christian. He ran into the kitchen to help the wife wash. The wife almost fainted. Then the mother came, and the mother fainted. What happened to my son? And he was quite high in society. The wife became a Christian. You know, I was in this man's house for 2 years doing follow-up. Never saw the wife. The wife will never come and see me. Angry that he became a Christian. But when the husband changed, amazingly she became a Christian. Yeah. So your husbands can still change, huh? All right. What else? How to make a person listen to you? Okay, this is where the floor technique. Okay, we have a floor technique. It is learning to respect that when the person is speaking, I listen. But the person speaking also must learn to stop for the person to paraphrase. I don't think we have the time. But if you want the person to listen, you also got to stop talking, you know. Okay, so there's a floor technique, which one of my family is using very well because they have 4 kids, 3 kids, and all of them want to talk. So basically, you just hold something, don't hold a knife, but hold something. The person who holds the object has the right to speak. It's taken from the American Senate, having the floor. Okay, and then if you want the person to stop, you say, "May I have the object?" Then the person yield, and then you speak. Yeah, so at least go round. Some some homes everybody speak and everybody shout. Nobody's listening. So it's like a forced change in behavior. Yeah. So that's what we do with our kids. At first it may seem mechanical, but somebody take up the pencil and then just tell, okay, you know, tell the brother, this is what I feel about you. You know, can you change the way you talk to me? So there's a request for change, and then the brother take the one. Okay, why do you say that about me? So it goes around, instead of shouting, everybody is shouting. Okay, so how do you make a person listen to you? Okay, the other thing is there anything worth listening to or not? Sometimes we are screaming, nagging, saying the same old story. So that's why my wife is smart. She said, choice words, like what the Bible says, choice words are like silver apples. Okay, so sometimes it's not the volume, it's not the amount of things you say, like verbal diarrhea, like that, keep saying, but choice words. So that's why the daily temperature helps. You know, and then if you want to change someone, don't try to change 3-4 things. Always go for one thing first. What is the most important thing? I mean, if you look at your husband or wife, what is the one thing you want to change? I mean, there are 10 things that you wish, but if there's only one thing, what would that be? And if the person is making effort, start appreciating. Thank you, darling, I noticed. You know, like this couple, she also appreciate the husband saying thank you, the wife learning to say thank you. Crazy, you're married for what? 30 plus years. Stop saying thank you for the last 10 years. They also can't remember since when they stopped saying thank you. Hey, can you get a drink? I mean, that type of language is serious. You know? So, but if it's not for their Catholic faith, I think they were divorced long ago. Okay, what's the other question? Then we have to add. Oh, nowadays, many young marriages divorce because of financial issue and not spending time with family. No time because of work. How can we resolve this problem? Okay, now this is a choice. We were just talking to this young couple. This is a choice about lifestyle. Okay, it's a choice about lifestyle. And unfortunately, the pressure of life is that we need to maintain a certain lifestyle. Okay, so like many young couples, first of all, do you really need to buy a house first? You ask yourself, can you afford to buy a house? I started living in a shop lot in SS2, and I had a happy marriage. You know, sometimes you need to know it's the person, it's not the building. Okay, our American friends have 20, 30,000 square feet house also, they divorce. Okay, it's about the person. You know, so like my wife, I'll go where you go, I'll eat what the Lord provide. So it's the kind of trust and the bond that, wow, okay, that, I mean, strengthens our marriage. So the problem, many young couples, they want to keep in pace with the trend of the world. So we had this couple in 60,000 in debts, okay, 7 months of marriage, because they borrowed to have the wedding against advice, you know, and their lifestyle is, everything is on the, what do you call that, mortgage? Credit, and then what's that one? Every month they pay installment. The crazy guy bought a $11,000 bed, you know. And I was telling him, I just get a good Dunlop bed. But he bought a $11,000 bed. They're supposed to have this and that, and he was already in debts. And he can't sleep well in the $11,000 bed because he's thinking every month he's having deficit. And now he's causing me to not to sleep because we are like more or less responsible for him to get him out of this problem. You know, so you have an $11,000 bed, but you can't sleep. I can sleep well on my Dunlop, except these few weeks. You know, so those of you, that's why the grandpa who is here, you can start advising even your grandchildren. Never get into debts to marry. Okay, those of you who are here, children, people always ask the question, when is the right age to get married? Okay, you can read through the Bible. There is no right age to get married. It's the right time to get married. And the Bible says when the man can leave his father and mother and cling to his wife. That means that you must take care of your own bill. Don't go and marry someone and then ask father to pay the bill. So we made my wife comes from a richer family, but we made the manly decision and adult decision. We had a smaller wedding dinner to suit our budget. So we resisted all temptation. Mom and dad would like to pay, but we said no. You know, you have to make that type of manly decision. So when's the right age to get married? When you can pay your own bills. Yeah. If you look at the Bible, there's no such thing as right age, the right time. And when you find someone you want to cling to, not everyone you want to cling to, okay? One day is this girl, next day is that girl, then it's not the right time. So I have a 40-year-old guy who cannot get married because he can't take care of himself also. And I said, please, oh Jesus, please, don't go and drag another woman into your life. You can't even feed yourself. You can't leave your parents' tent. Don't go and set up your own tent. Okay, so those of you who are young, you're thinking of marriage, if you can't find a woman who is willing to live with just one suitcase, you got to think twice. Yeah. So I always, hear my in-laws telling us they just started life with just two bags. Yeah, they were willing to live with each other, 2 bags and a rented room. So if your spouse is not ready, then you should not get married, because the moment you get into debts, this is the report, okay, the latest divorce statistics, the second thing, the second highest is about finance. Okay, why people divorce. Okay, before we close, I just want to show you that slide, brother. That slide. Okay, the second highest is about money. Okay, infidelity, financial, domestic abuse, lack of communication, lack of intimacy. That's the 5 top from our top lawyer in KL. Okay, the latest statistics. Why people go to them to divorce. Okay, now some things you cannot change. Your spouse have this personality. Okay, the placater, always easily bullied. He doesn't want to have drama, so he like, okay, anything to please you. Okay, okay, I agree. But then after that, he changed his mind. That's why it irritates you like anything. The placater is someone who wants to solve problem as fast as possible, so that, have the peace of the family. Then you have the blamer. Everything blame you. You lah, your child lah. You raise your son like that. Everything is yours. Oh, our daughter. Wow, valedictorian. Wow, that's my daughter. Some families have this going on. Okay, the frustration is he or she will keep blaming one. I mean, any problem in the family, any child, anything is blame. Okay? Then the one that asks about the husband, why not so romantic? Yeah, because your husband is like Mr. Spock computer. It does not compute. Why? I always say I love you, right? This uncle, serious. When I talk to him, he said, I've never changed my mind. At the wedding, I say I love you, that's it. All these years, I provided for her, right? I do everything for her, right? Which she did. So why do I need to say I love you? One time, okay? One time. And the wife is a pastor. Okay? The distractor, we have a few here, I noticed. You know? The wife wants to talk serious. Hey, you look so beautiful. Hey, I miss you. Don't say anything, you know. I don't want to have this type of drama. How many of you have husbands like that? Don't put up. They don't want to talk anything serious. Yeah. They'll make light, they joke about it, you know. They distract you. So that's why they're called distractors. Very few are levelers. If you have a husband or wife who are leveler like us, that's why we don't quarrel. We got no drama in the house. Okay? Everything also can be talk. Talk, not shout. Right? We have never shouted at each other. Yeah. So the leveler is someone that Christ has really transformed, you know. I used to shout, okay? From young I shout because we were raised up in a family that who shout loudest is the survivor. Okay? So, but when Christ changes, I begin to realize. So we talk. If there's an issue, we talk. We don't shout. We don't go betray each other. We don't go stab each other. So the leveler is someone who looks at the facts of the matter and always asks the question, what can I do to solve the issue? Rather than add problem. Okay? Add drama to the issue. So some of us are like that. We cannot change it because this is done worldwide. Okay? This is done worldwide by a family therapist. And of the few thousand responders, they found this, right? I mean, I don't want to ask a show of hand, but I think you will find yourself in one of them. Okay? The placator is the man or woman that wants to have peace. So whatever pleases you, I can please you. Okay, I agree for the moment. But it frustrates the other spouse because every time change your mind. Why you change your mind again? I thought you said agreed, but you found the courage to change, then quarrel, okay, go your way. Okay? And some of us express it by, what, where do you want to go for supper after this? Anywhere lah. What you eat? Anything lah. Placator. And then, when the food comes, start blaming. You order this type of food. So some of us have two personalities. Yeah, after whoever go out dinner with me, don't go and blame. Why pastor fasting? Okay, any question? One last question before we go. Time is catching up. Your clock, is something wrong with your clock? How to stop my wife scolding us? Okay, us means children, including children. Okay, I don't have the background, but if the wife is scolding, there must be a reason. Right? Remarriage, nothing wrong if the divorce is proper. Yeah, nowadays, desertion, infidelity. Yeah, remarriage in itself is not wrong, but you purposely divorce your wife for no reason or husband to remarry. Yeah, then in the church we will have issue. Yeah, most churches will not remarry such. Conduct marriage for such weddings. Okay? Or if you are dissatisfied now, you think that you divorce your husband and can find another person. Okay? You can find another person that is different than already found a person waiting. Very different. If you already have someone in mind, you're already in emotional adultery. Okay? So, how to stop my wife scolding us? I really don't know. Because whether it's valid scolding or not. Yeah, if it's valid, then you have to stop. Like I always tell my children, you don't want me to nag at you, just do it the first time I tell you. Have you ever thought about that? Some of you say, my wife nag at me. Why is they nagging? Because you still haven't changed the light after 1 month. Oh, I hit the sore nerve there. Okay, how to make a person decide? I think we answered that. Anything else, brother? No more? All right. So tomorrow I'm going to teach on how to build a dream home. Okay? And I'm using the acronym AROMA. So either your house stink or you have an aroma, and it has a lot to, there are a few points. Hopefully I can cover it, and then Sunday morning continue. Okay? You'll be building on what we left tonight. All right. Let's pray before we go. Yeah? Father, I just thank you for every couple who is here and every child that is from a home. And Father, even for the children that are being fostered. Father, I want to thank you, oh God, that there's great future for them because they've come into the knowledge of Christ. They've come into a loving a home master, a home couple that cares for them. And Father, we know, oh God, that every marriage has growth areas. Every marriage can be improved. And so tonight we pray, grant us the grace. Lord, even as we remember Psalms 128, Psalms 127, Lord, that it is your desire, oh God, for us to have a happy home, a strong home. And so tonight, even as husbands and wife talk, Father, I've just prayed for special grace upon their life, oh God. I want to thank you for each one of them, for wanting to come and learn something new. And I pray, oh God, even as they learn to appreciate one another, as they learn to dream and wish for each other and for their family, Lord, that they will have that courage, oh God, Lord, to speak out their concern and the wisdom to ask for change, oh God. And so, Father, I just pray, bless your people as they go from here, and even as they come back tomorrow for evening service, Lord, I just pray, oh God, that they'll bring someone along. That, Lord, because your word has so much wisdom, oh God, and your people has so much grace that they can help, oh God, even families in Ipoh, oh God. And so I pray, oh God, your blessing upon your people as they go now. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. The Lord bless you. The Lord keep you. All right. Tomorrow's service is 5, eh? All right. Sorry, it was a bit rushed, but I trust that you pick up one or two things.